Hi, I'm Edie Adams. Why don't you pick me up and smoke me sometime? Make a note of it. Anyway, one of the unjustly forgotten gems of 1950s comedies is Operation Mad Ball. That's two words, Mad Ball. Directed by the hugely underrated Richard Cline and co written by his protege, the rather better known Blake Edwards. As you might suss from the title, it's a military farce, which had become popular in the era of Bilko and No Time for Sergeants. And it's also noteworthy as the film debut of TV icon Ernie Kovacs. But apparently, the legendary producer Jed Harris slipped something into the marketing department's martinis because they let Kovacs write and direct this trailer, in which he goes out of his way not to sell the movie. This sort of thing just wasn't done back then. It's hardly done now. But it endures as a little comic jewel of its own. Let's tune in. Well, that cigar lets you know who's running the store.
I'm Ernie Kovacs. Good evening. Unless you're a matinee audience, in which case, good afternoon. I'm here to tell you about a forthcoming picture.
And here comes a typical Kovacs gag, and you'll be sure he'll milk it a couple of more times.
The reason I'm telling you about the picture is that I'm in it.
I'm going to keep my remarks to minimum because this really is quite bizarre for a 50s trailer.
It's kind of a fortunate thing that it's this one. It's the name of the picture is Operation Mad Ball. And the picture is based on the book Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary. It's the unexpurgated version, you know what I mean? Actually, we had to change the ending of the book because no one knew what a zizigeton was. Now, let me tell you something about Operation Mad Ball based on Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary.
And there's a Kovacs sight gag if ever there was one.
Must be 5 o'clock. 4:45, I'll see about this.
Now, watch him lead us down the garden path.
Let me tell you something about Operation Mad Ball. Everything you've read in the dictionary is in this picture. Love, hate, fear, passion, xylophones. It's all there in that film. I'd like to show you some exciting scenes from Operation Mad Ball.
You thought he was going to show you clips, didn't you?
Moxie? Gripping? You bet. It's all there in Operation Mad Ball. And now about the cast. Here's an exciting scene with Glenn Ford. Gripping? Great scene. Glenn Ford. Of course, it's not in this picture.
And that's another great fake out right there. Ford was under contract to Columbia at the time, so I'm sure he didn't have any problem with that.
Here's Jack in something pretty exciting.
In fact, it's quite amazing that there's almost nothing worthwhile from the movie itself. A real gamble that audiences would appreciate the joke and take it on faith that this movie is worth seeing.
You remember him from Picnic.
In a way, it's a little bit reminiscent of the original Citizen Kane trailer, in which Wells used very brief clips to introduce the cast.
The lady who plays the love interest, Kathryn Grant.
And there's Kathryn Grant Crosby, who only recently passed away. She was the last surviving member of the cast.
And now, about a very special star in Operation Mad Ball.
And now, we're back to the mantle again.
Two. Mickey Rooney. Here's the scene I'd like you to see.
I should mention here that whatever you think of Rooney, he really provides an additional jolt of energy whenever he's on screen.
On one take. We sent the script of Operation Mad Ball to Washington, D.C. to see what the Army top brass would have to say about it.
Now, these were obviously shot on standing sets with whomever happened to be available at the moment.
I'd like to take just one moment to show you one of my scenes in Operation Mad Ball.
You got to give Columbia credit for letting him get away with this. And it not only did good business, but also received a Writers Guild nomination. Not bad for a little comedy that just rolled off the assembly line in 1957.
Well, I urge you to see this adult, mature, astute picture. Operation Mad Ball.
And that's not something you brag about. Unless, of course, you're just being goofy. Which, of course, this movie entirely is.